What's up, guys? Welcome back to DCA. Tonight what we're going to do is talk about Solana. We're going to compare Solana in 2021 to Ethereum back in 2017. So Solana has absolutely exploded during the 2021 bull run. We're going to look back at Ethereum in 2017 because that was also Ethereum's first bull run. So we're going to see what similarities thus far have existed between these two cryptocurrencies that are increasingly becoming compared to one another. The other thing I wanted to mention is I went ahead and coded the DCA index into TradingView, and I'm going to be releasing it on the Telegram channel tomorrow. It's actually 4:41 a.m. here right now, and that's why I'm just releasing this video, because I've been working on the DCA index models all night, and they're finally in and ready to go. So tomorrow, whenever I wake up, after finally getting this video through, I'm going to put it in the Telegram channel. So you'll want to head over there if you're interested in these models. I'm going to be releasing the model for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana. So with that said, guys, let's jump on in. I've actually went ahead and made the DCA Risk Index for Solana. So as you would expect for a cryptocurrency that has had such a massive run like Solana has had during this cycle, it's actually hit multiple high peaks on the DCA index and is currently sitting at a 62 or around actually 63. So, as we would expect, these points down here in, the lower DCA index bands, anything below 30, these have been your best opportunities to buy. So if you were following something like this during the May capitulation, you would have been acquiring essentially from the last week of May all the way through up until, around August 16th. I typically use around the 60 level for altcoins to kind of draw the line as to where I will stop acquiring. So, what I'll do now is I will just wait, and if it comes back down, I'll get more. If it stays up here, I'll just wait, and then once it gets above 70, I'll start to unload. Okay, so that's kind of how I approach the altcoins in general. Okay, guys, so this is Sol USD. You can see that basically since September of 2020, we've been in this long ascending channel. All right. If we go to Ethereum during its 2017 bull run, we were in a somewhat similar type long ascending channel. So what we need to do is find a way to compare two currencies that are of slightly different ages. And that's because Ethereum was older at the time when the market was heading into the height of the bull run than Solana is at this time. If we, want to compare them, we need a way to define where we'll start measuring from. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the time at which Bitcoin reached the prior all-time high and how far were we into the cycle at that time. So Bitcoin reached its prior all-time high in 2017 on about January 4th. This cycle, Bitcoin reached its prior all-time high at around November 24th. So since November 24th, we are now 330 days into the market cycle. So 333 days. Just to, like I said, attempt to compare these two cryptos that were both going into their first bull run at the time, we'll count 333 days from when Bitcoin reached its all-time high in the prior cycle. That would make us go from January 4th until, around December 3rd. So we'll count 333 days for Solana, and we'll do the same for Ethereum. So like I said, January 3rd, 2017 up until around December 3rd, 2017. Now, if you go back further, right, it's somewhat unfair to Solana because Solana was not quite as old. So we can go back a total of 560 days for Solana. whereas for Ethereum, it had been out for around 900 days. So almost a full year older at this point. So this is just in general a way to try and compare these two. And the reason I want to show this in particular is because if we look, so we said that they both were in this ascending channel. And then after 333 days for Ethereum, we were up around 5,000%. So 4,818%. For Solana, after 333 days, we're up around 8,000%. Okay, so you have to remember when you're coming from these very low numbers, a couple thousand% actually isn't, I need to figure out how to turn those off. It's actually not that big of a difference, because the lower your starting price is, a very small change up here could lead to hundreds of percent change. So to be the difference between 5,000% and 8,000% coming from, $2 is actually very small. So all in all, the move from Ethereum and the move from Solana have been quite similar. So, I think it lends some credence to the excitement behind Solana. One of the big draws to Solana is the fact that it has very cheap transactions and very fast transactions. And so people like this project, and I think there's a lot of things about it to be excited. So, that's one way you can compare these cycles. And, you can say, well, from 333 days, we actually did end up going up around, to the end of the cycle, we went up around almost 14,000%. So that would put Solana somewhere around $321. Okay. Now, like I said, I don't believe that you can say that okay, well, let's draw out 13,000% and see where we're at, because $30 or $40, which is only 10% at that point, puts you up a few more 1,000%, right? So that's I wouldn't take something like that to the bank whatsoever, but it's just to show you what potential there is for the project. So some further analysis we can do. We can look at the Solana to Ethereum. Ever since January, early in January, this has been doing nothing but increasing in general. So again, we're in this ascending channel for Solana. Now, at some point, I would expect this to sort of level off. But for the time being, it's not showing much sign of stopping. Solana has been one of the hottest projects all throughout this market cycle. So it's outperformed Ethereum basically the entire way, which again, you would almost expect for an up and coming promising project because it's newer. You're not expecting Ethereum to perform at the same level at this age, right? It's older, there's much more money in it, so it's more difficult for it to sort of make the same price run that Solana can do when it's, down here at about 60 cents. It's very easy for Solana to move up from 60 cents and from $1.50. With Solana being so cheap early in its life cycle, it's very easy for it to move. But when, Ethereum is priced at in the hundreds of dollars, it's more difficult to move it with a larger market cap, right? So you would almost expect that at least at this point in its life cycle, it would be moving up against Ethereum. So, the last thing we can do is take a look at the SOL to BTC valuation, and again, the Ethereum to Bitcoin valuation back in Ethereum's early lifespan. So if you go from 333 333 days. Well, this is actually interesting. So if you go from 333 days, and I think this is something a lot of people get sort of lost on. And so I'm just going to move this here for a second. Notice that this is January 4th. Okay. And the peak Ethereum to Bitcoin valuation occurred, and this is the peak of all time. The peak valuation occurred here on 6/18/2017. Now let's go back to Ethereum USD, and I want to show you 6/18/2018. So notice this isn't Ethereum's all-time high even in the 2017 market cycle. That occurred out here on 1/13/2018. So back to the Ethereum BTC valuation. So here, so right around here is where Ethereum hit its all-time high in relation to USD. So I think a lot of people struggle with correlating the Ethereum to Bitcoin valuation or anything to anything else. So what this means is that at this time on 6/18/2018, right here, Ethereum was at its all-time high with relation to Bitcoin. So that means Ethereum had gone up more percentage-wise to the US dollar than Bitcoin had at this point. But from this point, Ethereum went up around 300% to the US dollar. Okay. So it went from 300, let's just call it 350, up to around 1400. Okay. So from here to here. But Bitcoin, on the other hand, from that same point on 6/18, went from around $2,400 all the way up to around, let's see, a high of around $19,000. Okay. So Bitcoin outperformed Ethereum over that same time period. And that's why we see, in spite of the fact that Ethereum made its all-time high out here in this area at around 113, so right in here, it hit its all-time ETH to BTC valuation in June. So that's something to keep in mind, guys, when you're comparing one crypto with relation to another. So think of it as your opportunity cost. So this is saying, what is my opportunity cost of owning Ethereum? It's Bitcoin. And in this case, it would have been better to own Ethereum. But in this case, it would have been better to own Bitcoin as it was heading down. Yeah, so basically, I think this leaves us, anytime we have a newer coin like this, it's very difficult to, say Solana is going to go to this. Solana is going to drop from here, or it's going to increase from here. I do think it's going to increase from here, but I think given how new it is, these can be highly volatile, and throwing an exact prediction on it is not something I would feel comfortable doing, because I don't, I wouldn't believe it. And if I don't believe it, I'm not going to, I'm not going to tell you something. I'm not going to give you, some estimate like, you'll see a lot of places like, oh, Ethereum's going to $800 this market cycle. Because while I believe it very well could, that is definitely within the realm of possibilities, I don't think there's enough evidence one way or the other to necessarily support that. With that said, projects that are extraordinarily promising and have shown strength in a given market cycle tend to continue to do well through the end of the market cycle. So with that, I would continue, and I will continue to invest in Solana through at least the remainder of the market cycle, using the risk metric that I showed you guys tonight. So as I move out of Bitcoin, if Solana is in, an appropriate position on the DCA index metric, I will move into Solana from my Bitcoin position. Other coins that I'll do this with include things like Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Matic. It's probably some others I'm not thinking of right now, but I'll try and cover them all as we go along here. But that's kind of where Solana is definitely one of my favorite projects, and I think it does have potential, but I'm not willing to just throw a price on it. If you were just asking me to just purely speculate and nothing else, I tend to believe that somewhere between 350 and 600 would be a decent price target. So if it starts getting into that type of range, I'll probably be moving out. Like I said, I'm not trying to extract every dollar I can, because I don't want to be the guy holding as the market's plummeting, because it will plummet 20, 30, 40% in just a few days without question. So I'm willing to be out of a particular coin prior to it getting its all-time high. And that's just how I approach it. If you're willing to try and hold longer, then, that's something you have to decide on your own. But I think you're opening yourself up to a lot of risk when you do that, because you're risking the giant corrections. You're risking what happened in May. And it's not always easy to tell if you're experiencing a short-term correction, or if it's going to plummet and, just continue on down. So that's why you need to come up with a plan, come up with a strategy, and, you have to stick to it. And if you don't, that's how you get stuck holding a ton of altcoins in May, for instance, and most of those still haven't come back and reached their prior all-time high. Some of them have. Solana, for instance, Cardano went above $3. So a few of them have, but many of them haven't. And while I believe that they will again reach their new all-time high, you're not guaranteed that. The market's going to do whatever the market wants. That's kind of why I try and position out of these coins as they get into the higher, index levels. So that's it for tonight, guys. Sorry for, this isn't the best video I've ever put on. I just wanted to put something out there tonight, and I know a lot of people have been asking about Solana. So like I said, check out that Telegram channel. These index models are going to be on there tomorrow at some point, hopefully by the early afternoon, definitely by the evening though. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you like this type of content, hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and until next time, see ya.